Hi everyone and welcome to the Learning Ladders. Today I'm going to be sharing with you what I'm planning to use for our 4th grade year. My daughter will be 8 and will be going to 4th grade year in September. I wasn't planning to make this video so soon. I normally don't make mine till May, June time, but I've had several people message me and ask if I could post earlier because they've seen a lot of the people posting earlier, and I literally can't because we budget monthly and that's how we pay for our supplies and everything else, and we don't normally have everything in until May, June time. However, what I thought I would do is tell you what my plans are, show you what I can show you, and then come June, like I normally would do, I'll do my big, curriculum haul like I would do. So that way I'm helping those people who message me, because obviously they are wanting to purchase, and I'm helping any of you if you are interested in what we're using, and then I'll show you everything, that I've picked, literally picked, in June as I normally would do. I would have loved to have been able to show you right now, but we have been hit by so many different financial things because of COVID and everything else. So my husband hasn't been to his office in 15 months. He's finally going back in April, but because of that he's not getting any kind of pay rise because of COVID and COVID uncertainty. He's not getting his bonus this year because the company lost out due to the continual lockdowns, and we had our car fail its MOT, so we had a huge bill to pay on the MOT. And then if you watched my previous video about what happened in Lapland, we had to pay for that door, that guy's car door that was damaged, which was over £400. So yes, we've had a lot of expenses. So none of that comes out of our homeschool budget, obviously, but it just stops me from doing it any earlier than I would do. I still have to, do it on a monthly basis where I get so many books in every month. But I will post everything as normally would do, but it won't be until June time. But hopefully my plans will help you if you are on the hunt. I'm going to start with history because I have a pile of stuff on my knee. So I want to get it off my knee because it's quite heavy. So this is stuff that we're actually going to be doing for history. So for history this year, we have done Story of the World from 1st grade to now. But this year we're going to take a break, partly because this year we did a subscription through Mysteries in Time, which is a time history box, and it's a different theme every month. And we went through the first 2 and I absolutely loved it, and it dawned on me that I should make my own news studies to go around this, because with doing Story of the World and everything else we weren't utilising it to its full potential, and it's fantastic. So what I've decided to do is stop Story of the World this year, and we're going to use the Mysteries in Time subscription box as our hands-on activities for each unit, and we're going to do several units through history in time. So I'm making my own curriculum, I guess you could say, on pulling resources together to make it a unit study for each period of history. So I'm going to actually call it the Time Traveller. So Time Traveller, her Time Traveller journal, and then I'm using several books as our spine. So the first one is What Happened When in the World. This is an absolutely fantastic book if you've not seen this one before. So it goes through each period of history with amazing graphics and visuals, with lots of information that they can use. We're also going to be using making a centuries timeline book, and I've got the big timeline sticker book that we can use, so we can actually take the stickers. It comes with the timeline, so we did do this a couple of years ago, but obviously now she's older she can appreciate it more, so it does actually come with places you can put the stickers, so we may just do that. But I do have a book as well, a timeline history book that we can use, so we can either put the stickers in there. It just depends what she wants to do. We're also using the DK History of Britain, from DK History of Britain, the visual guide. Again, these are just amazing, so much. I love them so much. Timelines of Everything. So this is from Woolly Mammoths to World Wars. This again is a fantastic resource. And then the units we're going to be doing in no specific order because I've just taken them off the shelf. So we have the Explore books, and these are amazing because it's lots of information, lots of visuals, and then it always has a little project in here that they can do. So for example, in this one, let me just find it. You are sending a coded message. So they always have a little project in, a little hands-on project. They always have further websites that you can research and find out more information about, and I just love them so much. So we are doing World War II. World War One. This is not in order, it's just what's come off the shelf. The Victorians, and we'll be doing this as a unit study approach. Romans, Shakespeare, Tudors, Anglo-Saxons, Stone, Bronze and Iron Age, Vikings, which I'm so excited to do, Ancient Greeks, the Celts, Ancient Egyptians, and that will be, I think, pretty much that was in the other order. Anyway, those are our, I guess, spines. And for several topics in our history, we'll be using some of the history pockets from Evermore for specific units. I love these because there's lots of little hands-on activities, lots of great information in there, and they can make them into either a notebook or a little lap book, a history pocket. So they're really fun. I really like these. We also have 100 things to know about history. And what I'm planning to do with these is put them into our morning basket, the whole series. So we'll get through all of them this year. We have read several of them already, but the ones that we haven't read will be going in the morning basket. Obviously, once one's done, we'll move on to the next one. So 100 things to know about history, and I just love these books so much. What's inside those ones? They are fantastic. And finally, for our spine for history, it's the DK History Knowledge Encyclopedia. And again, this is just an absolutely amazing book as well. So my curriculum is going to be called Time Traveller, so a Time Traveller journal, and that's what we're going to be doing. So we'll be going through unit study style. There'll be activities from our Mysteries in Time subscription. It also comes, the Mystery in Time subscription also comes with a reader, which is great because it's from two children that time travel through the different periods, so she can read that as part of the history too. And then I have got a bunch of additional resources. For example, I got this little children's war there's posters in here, little cards and everything else, memorabilia, and there's a ration book in there, so things like that. That'll be in the World War One. I've got a bunch of the See Inside from Usborne for different periods. This one's See Inside the Ancient World, and then I also, for different periods, I've got some of these model books. So for example, this is Make Your Own Roman Villa. I really wanted history to come to life. Make Your Own Viking Settlement. And I just think that this is going to be such a fun curriculum that I'm making for us to do this year. So that's what we're going to be doing for history. Did I miss anything? And then obviously a bunch of readers and read alouds and things that I can incorporate into that. Now I've got that big pile off my knees. Okay, for maths, I had planned, and I bought this last year actually, to do Saxon 5-4. This is the text. It also has the tests and worksheets, and it has the solutions manual. However, The Good and the Beautiful announced, I think it was last month or so, that they were redoing their maths, and it was coming out in August. And it sounds amazing. I haven't seen the 4th grade level or anything like that, but from what I've seen, it looks amazing. So this is still what I'm planning to do. I love Saxon. We've used Saxon from K to 3. So I know Saxon works. But it does change significantly this year to how it's laid out. In all the other, in K to 3, it's teacher-led. You do all the, demonstrations with manipulatives and everything else. You show them everything. But with this, it's specifically wrote to the students. So that is different, and there are tons more problems in here. But there are ways around it, doing odds and evens and everything else. So should I decide once The Good and the Beautiful comes out in August to go that way, then I'll definitely let you know. But for right now, Saxon 5-4 is what is on my plans to do. Okay, moving on to language arts. Now, if you would have asked me yesterday, I would have told you that I was doing learning language arts through literature, 4th grade, because we did that this year and we loved it. It was great. However, I was on Pinterest because I was doing my science curriculum, which I'll talk about in a minute, and planning for my science curriculum, and I saw a picture of a dog in like a little cardboard bed, and they're practicing prepositions with it, and I thought, wow, that is so cool. I want to know what that is. So I clicked on the picture, and it took me to the link of a site, and I can't remember what it's called now because I only found it yesterday, but I'll show you now. And it was Beowulf Grammar. That was what the box was all about, with the little dog, and it looks fantastic. Again, I'll show you in a second. But they also have a language arts program too, and when I saw that, my mouth just dropped, because it's everything that I love in language arts and everything that I love in planning. So the way she plans her unit is exactly how I plan mine. So she'll have books that you'll use, she'll have videos that you can watch, she'll have activities, and it's even down to some of the terminology. The way she plans is how I do it, and I just saw that and I thought that is perfect. I am all for that. So that's what we're going to be doing for language arts, and I'll show you all the components of it in a second. There is a couple of things in addition to that we're going to do, which I'll just tell you now. So Aesop Fables copywork, again I'll quickly show you on the computer. And also for vocabulary, I want to use Mrs. Wordsmith's vocabulary this year, and again I'll show you that in a second. We're going to be doing a lot of our writing with that curriculum, with the language arts options that she's scheduled, but also from my science curriculum, which we'll talk about in a minute. And then the other item for language arts, there are two actually, is Explode the Code, and we'll move up to the next level, which we do as part of our spelling, and then Harcourt trophies for one of our readers. So she'll have assigned readers that she picks herself, and then we'll have our read alouds, which I'll show you all of those in my actual curriculum video that I picked for this year. But she also has the Harcourt trophies for language arts. Hang on a second. Which is this one. I already have it, so I may as well show you. And basically it is a ton of different stories in different genres, which is why I really like it. They always have to meet the author, and then there's always some kind of little activity that you can do. Sometimes we don't do them, sometimes we just read the story. Other times, if it's something I know that it will go down well with what we're doing, or that I know she'll enjoy, then you know, we'll do it. But for example, this is one of the stories, and another one. So yeah, I just really like this, just as a reader mainly. That's what we do use it for, as additional reading practice, and because it's different genres of reading, so you've got your fiction, non-fiction, everything else, articles and things. That's why I really like it, because it's such a mixture. But it's not the only thing she reads, obviously. She reads whatever she wants, and also within reason, and also things that I've assigned to. And I'll show you all those in my curriculum video. Okay, so the site is called Guest Hollow. So I apologise for not remembering it. I only saw this yesterday, which is why it wasn't focused in my mind. But this was what I originally saw on Pinterest. It was the Beowulf grammar. But when I was scrolling down looking at it, that's when I saw the language arts program. But what I love about this is it includes comics, games, activities, diagramming and more. It's just so good. I'm so excited about it. But while I was looking at that, I saw this, the Guest Hollow language arts. So you can use it with children in grades 2 to 6. So if you've got multiples at home, then you can do it all together, which is fantastic. But the book list is what was just, I was drooling over it. It's just so fantastic. And as I said, the way she plans is very much how I do too. And I just can't wait to get this curriculum. I haven't purchased it yet, but I'm really, really excited. So I'm just going to get to the books so you can see some of them that come along with it. So it includes grammar, writing, spelling, poetry, vocabulary, reading and literature. Now there are a ton of books that go along with it and activities, but you don't have to get them all. And what she's done apparently, I haven't seen it, but it's what it says in what I've read, that she numbers them as to, you know, the importance to get them. So there's so many different things, and a lot of them she includes videos on. So things where she's found a video that you could watch of the read aloud instead of the different parts of speech. So those are all the grammar ones. It's hugely filled with literature. There's Mad Libs in there. My daughter loves Mad Libs. Some really interesting books that I'd not seen before. For example, this Illustration School, Let's Draw a Story. My daughter is going to absolutely flip when she sees this because it looks so good. The time capsule, so making her own little time capsule journal, she will love doing that. Now this is what we're going to be using for spelling. This is the Modern Speller, and this is actually free. So it's there's two parts. So Modern Speller 1 is grades 2 to 4, and Modern Speller 2 is 5 to 8th grade, and you can actually get it free because they are a domain free one. I think it's past its copyright date, you know, those ones. It does have a couple of issues in it, but she's explained the ways around that, and it was just something on page 2, book 2 on page 4. So, you know, I'm not worried about that at all. But the way it works is kind of similar in some ways to the modern, not the Modern Spell. It's kind of similar in some ways to Spelling Power, but also way better. Because I was looking at that one. That was one of the ones I was thinking of. But whereas with the with the Spelling Power, it's just like a word list. This is not. It's actually copywork and dictation in it too, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do it. And I'll show you inside it once I have downloaded it and in my curriculum video. but I'll also do a flip through as well at some point too. But yes, that's what we're going to be doing for spelling. Scrolling down, this is part of the writing, these little magnetic tile things. We already own this from a previous curriculum we've done. The Q&A a day for kids little journal, The Jolly Postman. I love that book, and when I saw that she was including that book as part of her plans, I love this woman even though I've never met her before, because our minds are very similar in terms of what we like in language arts. This is another fantastic one, Don't Forget to Write, 50 Creative Writing Plans book. She recommends a thesaurus. I've already got one of those. I love this one. So for an opinion essay, to help them do an opinion essay, there's two choices. I want a dog or I want a cat book that they can read to help them. This looks fantastic, how to tell a story, and it's got some story blocks in it. She says finger puppets, which again is so fun. My daughter will love those. And she can use those in her animations. We already own this one. It's a fantastic book. And then this is one of the things she recommends for handwriting. How to draw cute stuff. Again, my daughter will absolutely love that. She loves art. I'll also throw in the next level up of our handwriting without tears, cursive. I think it's cursive success, I think, next year. We have this already, this introduction to poetry, and then she's got some poetry recommendations. We already have this one, which I love so much. And then I've already got a couple on our list. So many great books that she recommends. This English from the Roots Up, I've had a look at this and it looks fantastic. So we can include Latin and Greek as part of our language arts this year, and obviously you don't have to do it all in one year, you can spread it over. And then she lists several books for you to read. So this is one for you to read yourself, not to your child, just for development. Uncovering the Logic of English, a common sense approach to reading, spelling and literacy. So I want to get that. And then that's if you need to do phonics, which we don't, but she gives a recommendation for a book for phonics. The Bookworm Journal, for them to keep track of their reading. We already have this one. It's a great book. We already have this one. This looks fantastic. The Other Side of the Story. So from fairy tales, and that looks so fun. Again, we love the illustrated ones by Marcia Williams. And then she's got an optional one, this Forms of Government, and then choose 2 from the following. So you've got a selection of 4 that you can pick from. And this is another one for you, the Read Loud Handbook. I don't actually have this. Let me know if you have this. Is the 8th edition not as good as the 7th edition? Because I was reading some reviews on it of the 8th edition, which is the one that's currently out. This is, you can find this, but generally only used because the 8th edition is obviously the current one. But some of the reviews were saying that the person who had written the 8th edition, because I think she based it on his ideas, but I'd put some of her own in, they didn't like the choices. Let me know if you've got the 8th edition and the 7th. Do you have any preference over them? We've read these already, so I won't be doing those, but that's fine. We can put our own read aloud in. So yeah, that is, and then there's another one, another book for you if you'd like to read that one. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing for language arts, and I'm so excited. So excited. I can't wait to buy this and go through it. So it's not a teacher's guide, which again I like. It's a schedule, which you can, well, not a schedule, it's a menu of choices of different things that you can follow, which I really like. So you can make it your own if you want to. You can follow her plans, but you can also have the freedom to make it your own too. Because obviously you're choosing what books you want to include. This has been scheduled into the program, the Beowulf Grammar. You do have to buy that separately. That is not included. You have to buy that separately. But I can't wait to do this. It's going to be so fun. What I was talking about with the Mrs. Wordsmith, so the storyteller's word a day. So 180 words to take your storytelling to the next level. So it's in like this little card thing, so you get the word in here, finish the story, and where it comes from, synonyms, data, and it looks really good, so I'm interested in this for our vocabulary. This could pop into our morning basket, and we can just have a look at the new one every day, so I like this one. And then for copywork, I am looking, there are 2 volumes to this one, the Aesop for children. This is volume 2, but what I really like this one in particular, this is from the classical Charlotte Mason .com, is it has a story on one side that they read. So they read, oh, it doesn't show you, they read the fable. I think I've seen it on someone else's website, but basically there's the story and then there's the piece of the copywork, so you get to read the little fable before you actually do the copywork. So it's not just, you know, oh, just write this. You actually do get to read the story that goes along with it, which I really like. Okay, so for science curriculum, I'm making my own what I've called lesson guides. It's called Dining on Science, and it's to go along with the Magic School Bus, because when I asked my daughter what science she wanted to do this year, she said she wanted to do Magic School Bus Science. So that's going to be a chunk of what we do. So basically it's going to be, why it's called Dining on Science is it's going to be a starter, which is obviously your video of your Magic School Bus episode. Your main course, which will be additional videos that go along with the topic, an activity, book recommendations, and then your dessert will be a written piece, so to go along with what you've done or something along those lines. And then at the bottom it will be a buffet, so there'll be different activities from different subjects that you can bring into it. So for example, there could be an art project that you could do to go along with the topic, an experiment, there could be some kind of additional written activity, or you know, something that will tie into it. So that's what we're doing mainly for science. But in addition to that, we are doing our science magazine. So that's going to be our big year-long writing project. So every episode that we watch, she will make a piece of work that will go towards our magazine. So it could be an editorial piece, it could be an opinion piece, it could be an experiment that she's done, and we're going to be using the Usborne Write and Design Your Own magazine to get ideas and inspiration of how we can make our own, because it's got so many different topics in here for making your own magazine, guidelines and things to include and everything else. So that's going to be our huge writing project. So that's obviously a lot to do with language arts, but it's cross-curricular because it's science too. So that's what we're going to be doing for science. However, there will be several points during my lesson guides for Dining on Science that we pause and do an extra unit study to go along with the specific topic. So I've already decided on what they will be. It's likely to either be a unit that I make myself, or it'll be a Good and the Beautiful science unit, or it could be one of the elemental science bites that she's actually come out with this year. And then we also will be doing an experiment as much as possible with all of the Magic School Bus episodes. There'll be as many choices of things in the buffet that I found, and I'm 3/4 of the way through with that curriculum, so it should be, look, it's a curriculum to me, but it's a lesson guide to you. It will be probably coming out in either May or June, hoping May, possibly earlier, but I'm saying May. It'll be on my Teachers Pay Teacher store if you are interested. We also have a science experiment. It's called 365 Days of Science, that will be incorporating into that, as well as specific experiments that I found that can go along with the units nicely. Book recommendations for each of the units, and I guess a spine of books that you could use. However, I'm trying to make it as much as possible that you choose what books you want, because obviously then you can get whatever you want from your library as opposed to having to buy set books. But what I will be doing is saying, well, if you use this book, this page will go well with this unit. To make it, basically that's for me, because then when I'm doing a lesson I know what book I need to grab off the shelf, but it'll be helpful to you should you decide to go along with that book. This is that awesome science experiment thing that I told you book, and what I love about it is it's got all the different categories of science on the side. So we've got astronomy, biology, chemistry, geology and geography, physics and weather. So I'll be using some experiments from here, but I've also found, for those of you who don't have this or don't want to buy this, I've also found a ton of different experiments that will go really well, specifically for each of the units of the Dining on Science lesson guides, tying in with the Magic School Bus. Some of the spines, I guess you could say, I've been using are the DK Knowledge Encyclopedia, the Nature Anatomy book, the Junior Illustrated Science Dictionary, the Usborne Science Dictionary, and the Encyclopedia of Animals. So I am making it with my daughter in mind, so 4th grade level. However, I have put in the buffet a range of different activities, because sometimes, although your child's in 4th grade, sometimes they might like something that, you know, a younger child would like. So I have put a range of items in the buffet that if you do have younger children and you want to do the guide, Dining on Science, you could, you know, do them both together. So your 4th grader, for example, would do the starter, the main course, the dessert and the buffet, and maybe your kindergartner would do the starter, as in watching the movie, and maybe, you know, an item from the buffet that would go more along with their age level. Okay, so that's science. And as I said, I will be picking, I've already picked certain topics that I want to extend on for Magic School Bus, specifically physics. So some of the physics ones, because we are doing elements of physics this year. Also some of the animal ones as well, because we didn't do, we did mammals this year as part of our Good and the Beautiful, so there are a couple of the animal ones that we haven't yet done, and a couple of them that they're releasing soon that I really want to check out. So that's science. I'm just checking my list, make sure I haven't forgot anything. Okay, geography. Now, geography is split into 2 days. So we have our curriculum day and then our unit study day. So for the first lesson in geography that week, we will do our Collins Primary and our Skill Sharpener geography. I'll show you the 3rd grade ones because I don't have the 4th ones in yet. My tripod broke, so you're actually balancing on a pack of crayons right now. I just thought I'd tell you that because it's funny, to me at least. So the Collins Primary is this one, although it won't be investigations. Book 4 is movement. And I did do a flip through of what this looks like inside. It's all basically little case studies with little activities that they can do, and it's so fun. This one was Planet Earth, Water, Weather, Settlements, Work and Travel, Environment and Places, and Movement is book 4. And they do come in a range of different grades. And then Skill Sharpener, this is 3, but we will be using 4. Geography. They go so well together. They did do this year. I'm hoping they will next year too. But I like them both anyway, so we can marry them together as we do our geography. So that's our, I'm just going to move this pile of books before it falls down. That's our curriculum day for geography, and then we also do a 2nd day of geography, and we do my Bon Voyage adventure journal, which is what we did this year, and we're going to be continuing it on to next year. So what we're actually going to be doing though is slightly different. So this year it was basically a country, so whatever the Universal Yums or Atlas Crate box was, or what the country was that I picked that we should do, we studied that and we loved it. It was so much fun. However, in 4th grade I'm going to make it more specific, so it's going to be continent based. So we'll study several different countries from each continent, because I found sometimes that particularly with the Universal Yums and the Atlas Crate, sometimes we were in one continent for quite a while. So I want to make sure that we're doing, you know, different countries from different continents. And if the Universal Yums box ties up, fantastic. If it doesn't, you know, it doesn't matter. We can still have it, enjoy it as a treat anyway. So yeah, so I'm going to pick several countries from each continent. We're going to do a study about those. I'm going to bring it alive with lots of books, you know, lots of picture books, lots of books about different cultures. We'll use Material World and Hungry Planet again, which we've used in the past and we love. And then I also purchased, I can't think what it's called, Travelling the World. I think it's by the Waldock Way. And in that curriculum, she has little cards and things with landmarks on, and animals from that area, and she also has little flag, you know, things for them to learn, capitals and all those kind of things. So we'll bring all those little games into it as well. So that's what we'll be doing for geography, and I'm going to put these down because they are really heavy. Okay, next on my list is IT. So for IT this in 4th grade we're going to be doing keyboarding without tears. We didn't do that this year. We did the Good and the Beautiful typing, which we did really enjoy, but I still like keyboarding without tears a lot. So we're going to be doing that again this year. We're also going to be doing web design as part of our IT curriculum that I always pull together. Last year we did the Microsoft Office packages, so we did Word, Excel and PowerPoint. This year I want to concentrate on web design, so I got her this website for beginners book from Osborne, which we'll work through, and she'll make her own little website, and then we'll carry on doing our coding with Python, Scratch and Raspberry Pi. Oh, I should have showed you this in our language arts, but through our language arts you always love these Osborne books. This year I got the sci-fi and fantasy story because it's one we didn't have, so we'll definitely be incorporating some of these into our language arts writing this year, and I just love these books so much. Okay, so that's IT. So for art, hang on a sec. So for art this year we did the Harcourt art. This is not the third grade one, this is the fourth grade one. Harcourt art curriculum, and I really like it. It has activities in different topics in art, and then it also has some art appreciation and art history. So I do really like it. However, we also this year have had a free trial of Artistic Pursuits, and I really like that. So I'm considering, we'll still do elements of this, but I'm considering either buying a package from Artistic Pursuits, or going back to Yellow Spot Sun, which is what we used in second grade, which was fantastic, but doing the ancient unit to go along with our ancient period of history as part of the unit study. So that's what I'm thinking of for art, but I'll let you know my final decision when I show you my curriculum in May or June. I did also find, I watched someone's curriculum video yesterday, I can't remember what the channel's name is. She showed an art book in hers, which I really like the look of. I'll show you in a second on Amazon, the one I'm talking about. So I might get that as an add-on at some point. And then also the other item that I'm thinking of for art is the Thinking Tree journals, the artist one. My daughter really loves art, so I always like to really offer lots of choices, a buffet of choices, and we always love the Osborne ones, the different animals and cartoons. I got that one this year, so we can use that, the cartoon drawing book, and there's so many different ones that I really love from Osborne that go along with art so well. For art, I was mentioning that I saw something on someone's video yesterday. It was the Homeschool of Bel Air, and she had this draw paint print like the Great Artist journal on there. I haven't looked through it properly yet, but it looks really good. So you've got your art materials, different projects, and then some information about the artist, and it looks like you do it in the book, so it's like one of those journal style, the wreck the book style, but it's not obviously the same thing. But yes, I'm really interested in this one. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to get it, but because I've only just properly seen it, so I need time to digest and mull over, but I'm really looking at it now and thinking that I really do like it. So that would be in addition to our art if we decide to get that. Okay, for baking, so I'm telling you all about our electives now. So for baking, I'm going to get the Thinking Tree Baking Journal, which is it looks so fun. I'm also going to make my own journal for her for baking around the world that will tie in well with our Bon Voyage Adventure Geography. So when we go to a different country within the continent, we can make a recipe from that. And then also in my Dining on Science, I do have some baking as well to go along with different episodes. Not for everyone, obviously, but thrown in there, sprinkled throughout. So we can do some of those from Dining on Science as part of our baking this year too. For French, I still haven't decided what I want to do for French yet. I am still on the lookout. So if you know of a good French curriculum for a fourth grader, definitely let me know. I've got a few options that I'm mulling over, but I haven't completely decided on that. So again, that'll be May, June when I'll show you. Now for nature study, we are doing the Burgess Book of Birds first. So I'm going to put that into our morning basket, which I'll talk about in a minute. And then once we've done that one, then we'll move on to the next one in the Burgess series. I'm also going to purchase the Nature Anatomy journals. I'm not sure if I'm going to get all of them because there are several. There's the ocean one, there's the food, the farm. I'm not sure whether I'll get the full bundle or whether I'll just pick a couple of them. I'll let you know in my May-June curriculum video. I did show you in my farm planning unit those journals, and they look really fun and really good, so I really like the look of those, but I'll let you know which one I decide on. And then for electives, our electives this year are going to be health, which is Harcourt Health and Fitness. We used a bit of this, the third grade one this year, but this is the fourth grade one, and I'll also incorporate some other health topics in there for her too. We're also going to be doing music, and I'm thinking of for music doing Squilt, but I haven't completely decided yet. Again, I'll let you know in my actual curriculum video. And then we're also going to be doing sewing. Now we were supposed to do sewing this year, and we were gifted this fantastic curriculum. I did pay postage for it, but we were gifted this curriculum from America that looked absolutely fantastic, but everything was closed, and it still is now. So I wanted to make it this big thing. We go and get our sewing machine from the hobby shop, we pick our material that we're going to make, and it to be really a fun time. I didn't want to do it online. I didn't want to pick material online. That's not exciting at all. So that's why we didn't do the sewing this third grade year, but the fact that she's actually a year older anyway, I think will be better, to be honest. So we'll hopefully be able to get our sewing stuff this year, the machine and all the fabric and everything else. So that'll be one of our electives as well. So that's my plans for fourth grade. I will, as I said, show you everything that I pick, because I always have little extras here and there that I throw in and stuff when I do my curriculum hauls. So I'll show you though everything that I pick come May, June time. The only other thing I'll talk about briefly is on Morning Basket. So for Morning Basket, I'm going to pick a philosophy book. I'm going to pick a nature study book, which the first one will definitely be Burgess' Book of Birds. I'm also going to pick a poetry book, and I've got a couple that I in my basket that I want to get. We'll do an artist study, a composer study, and then I'll read aloud. So that's what Morning Basket is going to look like. So I hope that was helpful for you, and come back in May or June time and I'll definitely show you everything in the flesh, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.